speed and quickness can make up for our lack of size. And the way it looks right now, we got some really quick kids that can play.
For instance, Jeff Seaver, who may be the most improved Blue Jay after a summer of AAU ball. There's spark plug Scott Elwer, who Arnzen says is bigger, stronger, and can play anywhere on the court. And Brent Grodhouse, the club's best three-point shooter.
I'll tell you flat out, we're going to have a good team if we can board. If we can get not even so much the offensive boards, if we can just keep the other teams from totally dominating us, if we can keep them from doing that, from hurting us too much with that, we'll compete with all those teams because we got several outstanding basketball players right now.
This is Bob Arnzen's 41st year coaching the Blue Jays. 643 wins. Retirement? No way. The players have changed. The coaching hasn't.
As the summer comes on, you think, well, that's why you're in this thing. Because each year, you got to figure out what offense you can use with these guys, what defense you can use. Now, I know a lot of the coaches in the area will say we're doing the same thing we did 20 or 25 years ago. And they're really true because lots of the stuff, 75% of it, is what we have done for the last 20 or 25 years. But the other 25 is what you do with what the talents that you got. And I think that's what turns me on. And I think that's what the kids like, is to have just a little bit of a new challenge every year. They're the ones that are going to step forward and represent Delphos St John's out here during the basketball season.
St. John's hosts Salina Friday. The Larry Cox Baseball Card and Memorabilia Show, slated for this Saturday at Lima Senior High School, postponed, but it...
Night to Bath. This was a dandy. Jays led late first half. What a night for Scott Elwer. He got that one there. 29 on the night for him. The Jays expanded a 4-point halftime lead to 10. Third quarter, Kurt Gunder in the lane here. Yeah, off glass for 2. He finished with 10. Jays were in command, but the Indians fought back behind that guy, Greg Kobe, 24 on the night. The Indians grabbed the moment and never looked back. John Lipinski down the stretch, the man to go to. He finished with 24 as well. 13 of those coming from the free throw line. Indians hit 18 of 26 from the stripe. They hold on and win 79-75. High school scoreboard now. Fort Jennings, the winner over Columbus Grove, 81-50.
We're so proud of Ohio Super Gasoline with Ice Guard that my assistant...
Between the two schools, and the Blue Jays rally to beat the Birds this afternoon, 51-49 your final. Vince Koza with the highlights from Delphos.
This rivalry began in the 1957-58 season. St. John's head coach Bob Arnzen remembers many of these and realizes how big of a game it is. His club, though, having trouble handling the inside game again. Sophomore Aaron Bailey for the hoop, but the Jays came back. Scott Elwer to the hole. Delphos up 17-16 after 1. Second quarter belonged to the Birds. Bailey, tough inside, finished with 17. And then on the break, Joe Guigeni to Dwight McNeil for the easy lay-in. The Birds up by 9. The lead was 8 at intermission. LCC led by as many as 14 in the third quarter before the Blue Jays battled back. Off the inbounds, how about Keith Jackson in for the lay-in? The lead cut to 7. Fourth quarter, Delphos with the momentum. Darren Gerdeman off the bench and playing well. Great pass to Elwer. He finished with 15. The lead cut to 1. The Blue Jays then grabbed the lead on a Jeff Wiggins steal and layup and then held on thanks to LCC's bad free throw shooting. Only 7 of 20 from the charity stripe, including a miserable 2 of 12 in the second half. St. John's with a much-needed victory.
It's a win we really needed because we had a lead in the last 2 games, and we sort of had letdowns. Now, today we could have easily had a letdown in the second half when we were 14 down, but for some reason or other, the kids jacked up, and they really played. And for my part, this is the biggest game of the year for us when we play LCC, because that goes back about to 1957-58 school year that we've had a rivalry with them. So from where I am, it was just a great victory.
No, it is frustrating because I think we have a fairly good shooting team. We've had our free throw percentage on the year is not that bad. This is the second game in a row in the fourth quarter. We haven't shot it well from the line, and we could have really used some of those points. And it's just something we got to work on. And if we don't correct it, we're going to be in trouble because our schedule just gets tougher and tougher every night out.
The Blue Jays now lead the overall series 33-25 after winning today 51-49. From Delphos St. John's, Vince Koza, TV 35 Sports.
Thanks, Vince. Both St. John's and Bath wrapping up regular season play tonight and searching for momentum headed into state playoff action next week. The visiting Blue Jays came out firing. Scotty Elwer lets fly, giving the Jays a 4-point first quarter lead. Bath relies heavily on Kyle Settlemeyer. Here, the senior takes the pass from Kevin Mitchell, knocks it down. Bath was down 1 at the half. Third quarter, it stayed close. Jeff Wieging off the break to Elwer. St. John's led 41-37, but with just 9 seconds to go, Settlemeyer would hit 2 free throws to tie the game at 58 and send it into overtime. But in that extra 3 minutes, this was the game winner for the Jays. Jeff Seaver knocks down the jumper, and St. John's wins 63-61.
We needed this one tonight. We beat Parkway last week after losing 3 in a row. And this gives us 2 games in a row now that we've won. I think it could give us some impetus for the tournament. Great win.
Certainly was. Both teams end the regular season at 11-9. From Bath, Jeff Blanzy for TV 35 Sports.
Thank you, Jeff. Let's go to the scoreboard now and look at what Coldwater did to LCC. T-Birds fall to 15-5, 31 for Rob Howell for the Cavaliers. Meanwhile, Elida now finishes 17-3 in the regular season, winning by 21. Raheem Johnson had 21. Said it's still fun and will continue to be with new challenges at the beginning of each season.
You know, some people say, how can you stay in it when you lose 3 and 4 guys every year? Well, that's the challenge of the whole thing. It's really neat to have some new guys come in and try to step in and fill the shoes of the guys from last year. And we got a whole gang of guys right now that don't care about who graduated. They want that spot, and they're going to do anything to keep that spot.
There are a couple of key returnees from last year's 12-10 squad, including football standout Scott Elwer, who makes the transition to basketball stand out quite nicely.
He's one of the premier players in this area, Vince, I think. He's not only a good shooter, not only a good scorer, but he's got a heart to win. And you tell some people that haven't been around sports a whole lot, and they don't understand that. But you're never out of the game as long as he's on the floor for you, because he's capable of stealing a pass, hitting a 3, stealing the next, and hitting a 3. He'll keep you in a ball game.
Arnzen expects another good year out of guard Jeff Wieging. Says he can do it all on the court. But the key to his team's success this season, the play of 2 unknowns, Turk Jackson and Scott Mutter.
It depends on how quick they come through. They were our 6th and 7th men last year. Both of them got a lot of heart. And if they come through real good for us early, we'll have a good team early.
The Jays even have some height, but they're inexperienced. 6'6", 220-pound big man Paul Sadler playing well out of the gate so far this season, and 6'8" Eric Hurston. But overall, this club going to have to hustle for its points.
Yeah, we're going to try to get into that good press. We've tried it both nice. Sometimes it was all right, and sometimes it wasn't. That's hard to get going in the beginning of the year, but we work on that every night, and I think that's our ticket. If we're going to be good, we have to be able to press.
Big night for girls basketball. The game of the night, Elida and St. Mary's. Jenny McGraw had 23, hit the game-winning shot with 8 seconds left. Lady Dogs are 3-0. Rough Riders' first loss, freshman Nikki Myers had 22. First win for the Lady Titans of Ottawa-Glandorf. Christian Lammers had 26. Lady Bulldogs of Salina roll again. Jesse Collins had 17 for Bath. The Wild Kittens are 2-2. Carrie Parrish had 16. Van Wert wins by 6. Lady Cavaliers of Coldwater, awesome. 4-0. Amy Seifring had 27. Lady Indians of Fort Recovery have won 2 straight. Mandy Hastings had 15. Marion Local Sarah Putoff had 22. Flyers win. Delphos St John's rolls over Mendon Union. Tricia Watkins had 16. Perry, the Allen East beats Perry. Jefferson and Columbus Grove. Delphos Jefferson wins. Lady Cats are 3-0. Paulding wins by 12 over Bluffton. Indian Lake wins in double overtime. Sophomore Heidi Gallaudet had 22. Miller City knocks off LCC. Upper Scioto Valley is now 7-0. Gwen Hurley had a 19, and one of the score that we can give you, Houston beat Botkins by a score of 69-36. That's a look at
Duke by 4, and it could be less. Bauer steals and scores.
One of the reasons Arkansas has really made this spurt has been the defensive tenacity of Bowers. It really becomes contagious with all your other people. Here's the half-court trap again. Really causing some problems now for Duke. But look over the top of that trap. See the size? That size creates a problem.
Leitner high post, dribbles and shoots, and that's a 4-point lead for Duke.
Not a problem if you can get it to your post man who can finalize like Leitner.
He has 15, and he's nearing double digits in rebounds in the first half. Todd Day shovels Ron Urey, and he was fouled on the blocks.
What a great look by Todd Day, showing his versatility, his passing ability. I talked earlier, I'm going to pick my all-MC Hammer team. You know, MC Hammer can entertain, he can dance, he can rap, he can do it all. He's one of the hottest people in America. When you talk about versatility and people that can do it all. You got to talk Todd Day, but you also have to talk about guys like Billy Owens, certainly Stacey Augmon. They're really versatile performers.
Christian Laettner with a second foul leaves the game. Crawford Palmer back in for Duke. That is a big factor with 3:27 to go before halftime. Ron Urey will be at the line. Laettner with 15 points, but 2 recent fouls.
They don't want him to pick up that third. As you look at Laettner on that sideline, doesn't have the size around him like last year with Ala Abdelnaby. You take a look at Ron Urey. What a tremendous high school player he was out of Memphis. But he ran into so many problems off the court, and he's fortunate they've given him another chance. I mean, he was in some major problems. Had a situation, was on a gun with him on his possession at a party. He had some problems in terms of alcohol. He's battling back, and he say he's really trying to get his life in order, and he's certainly wishing nothing but the best.
He has a couple of free throws. Arkansas has it back to a 2-point game. 3:27 before halftime.
Magic Moments, presented by Dodge. In a 1981 regional semifinal, it was BYU's Danny Ainge who provided one of the most memorable plays in NCAA history. When Notre Dame's Kelly Tripucka hit a long jumper from the corner, BYU trailed by 1 with just 10 seconds to play. Dribbling behind his back, Ainge raced up court past the entire Notre Dame team, laying the ball up and over a final defender at the buzzer for a 51-50 BYU victory and a special magic moment.
Introducing the new Dodge Stealth RT Turbo, dedicated to those who thought Ferrari Testarossa couldn't be beat 0 to 60.
The Stealth really smoked it.
Who thought Porsche Carrera couldn't be outcornered.
The Stealth just blew it away.
Who thought Lotus would save Europe's day.
Stealth just plain beat it.
Introducing the new all-wheel drive Stealth RT Twin Turbo. Performance that's bringing America home to Dodge.
The most impressive thing about the new Macintosh computers isn't how little they cost. It's how much they're worth.
They're at your Christmas store. Sears. Top brand electronics like this 41-inch LXI TV with remote and MTS stereo surround sound. Save $100 only at Sears Brand Central for Christmas.
Stay with us at halftime. We'll take a look at the importance of imports. College basketball coaches trying to ride that foreign wave, scouring the planet for talent. That's at halftime. Let's go back to the Garden now. Bob and Dick.
All right, Chris, thanks a lot. And Arkansas has an import that's redshirting as a freshman right now. 6'7", 200, Davor Rimac, a tennis player who they say at 6'7" can fly. And if he's eligible next year, he'll be something for Arkansas.
I have no problem. We're going to talk about that at halftime with Chris in that interesting feature about foreign players. When you talk about foreign players, take a look at Texas. Panama Myers, Dexter Cambridge, Tom Penders in the Southwest Conference has some outstanding foreign players in their lineup. You know what really scares me with foreign players is we have a little discussion here. Larry Lembo and Mike Krzyzewski talking about the foul situation on Christian Laettner. I'll tell you what really troubles me about that as we look at Mike Krzyzewski looking on.
I'll tell you what the problem here is, Dick. The very first foul of the game, Arkansas thought it was on Laettner, but they called Bobby Hurley for reaching in from the weak side. They think he has 3. Laettner does have 2 fouls.
Yeah, it was that first call. I remember you referred to it on the opening. As we look at Laettner, we look at front court scoring. Laettner outscoring the entire Arkansas starters 15-10. He looks up at the board. He likes what he sees. He's from Angola, New York.
He also has 9 rebounds.
You know, I want to finalize that point about foreign players. A lot of agents are getting involved, and that really troubles me and worries me about agents trying to, you know, offer some money out there in terms of trying to place kids, and that could really, really be bothersome in terms of going out and getting that hired gun for maybe a year.
Well, let's see how Duke answers this Arkansas flurry. Hogs down by 2. Davis misses the layup. Grant Hill the follow. Won't go for him. Gets his zone and scores.
He's so quick to the offensive boards. He's so skilled with the basketball on a perimeter for a guy his size at 6'8".
Under 3 minutes to go. Duke has it back to 4. This is Ron Urey. Oh, Morris beat his man Crawford Palmer, and that's where they missed the reach of Christian Laettner.
I'll tell you one thing. Not only Bowers' defensive ability has kept Arkansas in the game, but it's been the offensive productivity off the bench by IBM. Isaiah Morris, 10 points, replacing Oliver Miller, who got in foul trouble. There's a turnover. Razorbacks ready to lay that big cheer. I think I one of my favorite cheers when they lay that big suey chant down there in Razorback land. That's one of my favorite.
Duke with its 6th turnover. Arkansas has coughed it up 3 times. There's Crawford Palmer up strong to clear the defensive boards. Grant Hill finds Thomas Hill. Easy 2.
Arkansas not rotating back defensively, really hitting the offensive boards and really getting caught for the layup.
Morris past Palmer, kept alive. Todd Day and Thomas Hill reached in to foul him.
He got smacked across the face, Todd Day. I love versatile players. They really can do so much for your club. Nolan Richardson looking on, but we talk about Todd Day, number 10 here. He's one of America's truly gifted, versatile performers. And Syracuse knows all about that with Billy Owens, and certainly down at Michigan State with Steve Smith. You talk about a versatile guy that can rebound. There he is on the offensive boards. He's going to get mugged right across the face. Oh, and he goes down. He goes down. Hill hits him. That's how Foreman, the fat man, George Foreman's going to go down when Holyfield lays a big right to his jaw.
All right.
Did you see that press conference the other day? You talk about Milli Vanillis and frauds and phony, and oh man, don't get me started.
Hey, well, there's nothing phony about this guy. He's got 5 points. 4 times he's cleared the board. He's number 11 in Arkansas scoring in this his junior year.
Memphis produces so many outstanding players.
And there's another one. Isaiah Morris with 13 points off the bench. Forget the big O for now.
He's doing a great job off that bench. They're picking up this defensive. There it is. Excellent rotation.
Mayberry fouled by Grant Hill.
Hill did get the ball, but he laid the body on him. There was no doubt about the body across his. There's Nolan. Nolan strolling that sideline. Now we're going to see the rotation of Mayberry. He's going to try to dribble in the gap. Now there's the trap, and here's the rotation. Anticipate. He anticipated so well. Now here comes the body. The body's laid on him. He does get ball, but he lays the body on him.
Todd Day and Lee Mayberry with 2 points between them the first 5 minutes of the game. Now they've combined for 11 with Mayberry at the line.
You know, when we talk about lead guards, I'm talking about a guard who has the ability to score as well as penetrate. Certainly Kenny Anderson is number 1. But right behind him, I'd go Mayberry, and then I'd go Chris Smith, Walt Williams of Maryland, and Henry Williams of University of North Carolina, Charlotte. That would be my all-Isaiah team. They're just like Isaiah Thomas. We got a heck of a game here.
Arkansas has the lead back with 1:50 to go before halftime. Leitner out of the game is hurting Duke right now. Hill taken away. Todd Day. He gets it back 2-on-1, and he'll do it himself. Morris has it. Davis took a poke at it.
Is he hungry, Morris? Is he hungry on the glass?
Thomas Hill, the final touch and possession for Duke, and Crawford Palmer will clear it for Grant Hill. Bobby Hurley. Back to Hill. Mayberry with an near steal. And Mayberry gets foul number 1.
Not a good foul by Mayberry. The offensive player is 28 feet from the goal. He's not even in shooting position. Not really the kind of foul you want out of an All-American player.
Billy McCaffrey back in for Duke. A little offensive spark as they take out their defender, Brian Davis. Coach K needs a little scoring now with Leitner on the bench. They'll also counter with the senior Greg Kubek, but he's set to replace the shooter Grant Hill, so number 22 will have to wait.
Crawford Palmer is a key player for Duke. He has to provide that bulk and that size along the baseline to give them quality minutes because they're so limited in size. They'll get 2 big guys next year with Cherokee Parks and Eric Meek coming in from California, 2 6'11s who can play.
Boy, did you see the arc on that free throw? Todd Day, coast to coast, rejected by Grant Hill. 4-on-2, Hurley, Hill, taken away by Bowers. It stays with Duke. What'd you like to see that in a young player, though, Dick? He misses the free throw, back down the court to block a shot.
Well, you got to play on the defensive end. The one thing with Duke, you better play on both ends of the floor.
Bobby Hurley in for Kubek with 1:05 remaining first half. McCaffrey and Thomas Hill passes the jumper.
They got to find some shots for McCaffrey. He's too good a shooter.
Hurley for 3, missed it badly.
That's the guy I'd let shoot the ball from the perimeter. I'm not convinced he can shoot consistently from outside. He relies so much on dribble, drive, penetration.
Kubek would have had an easy 2, but good hustle by the man they called Truck, and that means small truck. Arlen Bowers at 5'10", 175.
Duke's got to find shots for this guy, McCaffrey. He's not going to be able to get the shot with his dribble move.
Mayberry steals it. Here's Bowers against Hurley.
Got the trailer. Yes, yes. Little dipsy dude, Dunkaroo, Jam City, baby. The Razorbacks, R&R, rip and run.
And they lead by 3 with 35 seconds to go before halftime right now. McCaffrey at the other end. Going over Uri scores.
Billy McCaffrey really has the great rotation. He wanted to foul. He was begging, hey, get me to foul as well.
Shot clock is off. Arkansas with the ball by 1 as we approach halftime. Chris Fowler standing by to fill you in. And Bowers hits it from outside.
That was great two-man execution. Bowers flared to the open spot on the floor, and Mayberry delivered it perfectly.
Hurley weaving his way through, but Morris clears it for Mayberry. Somebody's got to put it up. Uri,
what a
right
great
side.
play. What a great play.
No basket. No basket.
Pulling a technical on it. Did he?
The dunk was after the buzzer, and Arkansas leads by 3 at the half.
I thought he was going to call a technical for grabbing the rim. There it is. Got the clock. Take a look. There's the dish. Does he get it off? Here it is. Up, 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 and away.
Nope.
No, baby. No. Great call by Jimmy Blur. Great call.
And a great flurry at the end of the first half. The Razorbacks trailed by as many as 9. They lead by 3 at the end of the first half.
Nothing beats number 1. Nothing beats the king of beers. Nothing beats clean, crisp, and cold. This is the best, and we've got it right here. Nothing beats a Bud, yeah, nothing beats a Bud, yeah, nothing beats a Budweiser. Nothing beats a Bud.
Behind sealed doors at NASA is a familiar sight. The impeccable picture of a large-screen Sony Trinitron XBR television. You'll also find reliable Sony TVs working hard at the Disney MGM studios. And you'll find them playing hard at the NFL. After all, if Sony TVs live up to professional standards, why would you live with anything else? The Sony Trinitron XBR TV, the screen behind the scenes.
You know, Dad always said, Norman, you have to give 100% every day.
If you want 100% whole grain, only one of these leading cereals has it. Only Wheaties is made with 100% whole grain.
Dad also said, Norman, if you want to be a champion,
better get your whole grain.
Better eat your Wheaties. But you better never call me Norman.
ESPN's presentation of NCAA basketball, Duke versus Arkansas, is brought to you by the Sony Trinitron XBR, the screen behind the scenes, and by Wheaties. Better get your whole grain, better eat your Wheaties. And welcome back to halftime of the first semifinal game of the Dodge NIT. Duke with the 18-4 run jumps out to the big lead, and then a furious rally by Arkansas. The Hogs lead by 3 at halftime. Well, they may not be looking in live around the world, but you can bet that there are basketball fans around the world who are paying attention to college basketball these days. Basketball number 2 to soccer now as far as popularity around the world. It was about 10, 20 years ago that college basketball coaches began to travel all over the world delivering clinics and camps and introducing basketball to youngsters everywhere. Now, in the last couple of years, as Steve Cyphers reports, college basketball coaches have started to reap the dividends.
It was just before the turn of the century and the first wave of immigrants came to this country. Now, a full century later, there's a new wave of immigrants, but no longer do we seek your tired, your poor, your huddled masses. Bring to us instead your tall, your talented, your no-look passes.
The first notable import was Kresimir Ćosić, a sizable Yugoslavian turned BYU All-American in the early 70s. But it was the ascent of Akeem Olajuwon at Houston 10 years later that opened coaching eyes on the American front. Though he hadn't touched a basketball until his senior year of high school, his coaches saw potential and told Guy Lewis all about him. A film on the Final Four introduced the Nigerian to the college game.
I saw Bill Walton play for the first time, and it was so exciting. And I was looking forward just coming to the United States to play college basketball and also to go to school. From watching the game, I have a lot of confidence that I'll be able to play in college level in the United States.
Hakeem's success, tightened academic standards, and improved players sparked a tidal wave of imports. 150 foreigners now play Division I basketball, roughly double the number of a decade ago. In 1966, Lou Carnesecca made his first international recruiting trip. About the same time, Dale Brown was doing the same thing. 25 years later, he's coached players from 11 different nations.
I was putting clinics on and traveling all over the world, and have been fortunate enough, because of basketball, to be in 50 countries. And I liked what I saw. I liked, one, their academics. They were always better than Americans. Two, they were so appreciative that they had a chance to come to America. And three, I saw a talent level that was improving.
From a political point of view, too, maybe they get to know us a little better. Maybe those boundaries, which are different now, maybe because of basketball, I say, those American guys are not that bad.
But concern coincides with growth. It isn't fair, say some, that older players with international club experience might arrive with 4 years of eligibility.
That's experience on the international level.
I think we have to get a standard that's consistent, that, with Proposition 48, how we penalize the inner city kids, we have to have a standard that the foreign players coming over and the age of them is equivalent and balanced and equal to the American players.
Another concern is the use of foreigners in a free agent-like manner to quick fix a roster weakness. Dove Hennefeld and Andrew Gaze starred for their respective schools for just one season before returning home to turn pro.
Kids are going to sign hardship. That's always going to be the case. When it happens to an American kid, usually people say, oh, it's good. The guy was a great, a Michael Jordan or a player like that. It's nice. Well, that's what happened with Andrew Gaze. That's what happened with Dove Hennefeld. And the better the kid that you bring in, the more chance that that could happen again.
High school All-American, 6'10" senior, number 32, Stephon Edwards.
Spanning the globe doesn't stop with the colleges. High schools are now using exchange programs to gain an edge.
High schools are bringing in foreign players just for basketball and to build up their team, to have a great basketball team. And there'll be the recruiting and everything else. Many states have rules and regulations by their high school governing bodies to try to control that, but they still get around it.
Once the players do arrive, they learn the transition game, not just in basketball, but in their way of life. We'll explore that in Part 2.
And Part 2 comes up after the first Dodge NIT semifinal game, the case of Seton Hall. If you thought that Gaze and Ramos leaving would leave the cupboard bare, guess again. Mr. Carlissimo, Mr. United Nations has gone out and found a trio of foreigners. Coming up, we'll continue with our halftime report. News from all over the world of sports. The Hogs over Duke at halftime from New York, 44-41.
Today, more people than ever are getting a kick out of this hot shot. Interstate batteries hit the road fast with all the cranking power and reserve energy you need for even the worst curves in the weather. And Interstate has twice as many dealers than any other battery company in America, so you're never left stranded. For an Interstate battery dealer near you,
All you got to do, call 1-800-CRANK-IT. Get the power that goes on and on and on, yeah.
It starts with the right attitude. Look for the star. Starter Sportswear.
It's called Drixoral. A powerful 12-hour cold medicine that at one time you couldn't buy without a doctor's prescription. Today you can. Drixoral works just as hard against colds as it always did. You just don't have to work so hard to get it. 12-hour prescription strength Drixoral. You don't need a prescription, just a cold.
This is great. Watch this, it's a test. These guys think that both of these are aquariums. Wrong. Actually, one of them is a Hitachi big screen TV. Thanks to Ultravision with its ultra clear, ultra bright, ultra sharp picture. They don't have a clue which is which. Okay, time's up. It's this one. Hey, where are you going? You're gonna miss the commercial. Ultravision, only from Hitachi.
Welcome back. News from the NBA. All of the first-round picks have now signed. Terry Mills inking a 2-year contract with the Denver Nuggets today. $1.35 million for 2 years, according to newspaper reports. He's in uniform for the Nuggets tonight in Los Angeles. Meanwhile, his old team, the Michigan Wolverines, playing Athletes in Action, an exhibition game at the Palace in Auburn Hills, and they trail Athletes in Action 37-35. Central Michigan, the opening game for Michigan on the 28th. Some news in baseball, a flurry of free agent signings. The Tigers signing Rob Deere, and 3 pitchers were signed. One Reds pitcher is staying put. Tom Browning, staying right with the Reds, signed a new contract, a 4-year deal. Danny Jackson, though, headed for Wrigley Field and the Cubs. That's a 4-year contract. Jackson leaving after 6 years with the Reds. And Mike Boddicker going back nearer to his home. Grew up in Iowa, now playing for the Royals, the 17-game winner, leaving the Red Sox. And this NFL note, Dexter Manley claimed off the wires by the Phoenix Cardinals. Manley, of course, reinstated after a 1-year drug suspension picked up by the Cardinals today. He's eligible to begin playing for Phoenix on December 9th. A reminder, the second semifinal from the Dodge NIT coming up following our first game, Notre Dame against number 3 Arizona. The Wildcats of Lute Olson are loaded. They have a huge front line. Reminder, at halftime of this game, it is 44-41. Arkansas, the slow start, they come roaring back. They lead by 3 at intermission.
I'm not.
When you want to know what's on your cable system when, then TV Guide's nightly grids are a state-of-the-art start. We put a lot into them, so you get a lot out of them. But if you want a more comprehensive view, just turn the page. Our listings give you plot summaries, cast members, movie ratings, everything you need to preview all those channels and choices. So when you want to know when and where to find the good things on your cable system, let TV Guide paint your picture. Order TV Guide now at an exclusive cable discount.
Friendly Lincoln Mercury Chrysler Plymouth Dodge, now at 1030 Elida Road in Delphos, announces their new facility to better serve their customers. A larger service department in their new facility means even better friendly service. See their new facility and enjoy great prices on their year-end 1990 model closeouts with rebates up to $4,000 and interest rates as low as 4.8%. See your friends today at Friendly Lincoln Mercury Chrysler Plymouth Dodge in Delphos.
Lead by 3 points. Let's go back now to the second half. Bob Carpenter with Dick Vitale at Madison Square Garden, fellas.
All right, Chris, thank you very much. We're getting ready for the second half here, and if it starts off any way the first half ended is going to be wild. Bob Carpenter with Dick Vitale, Arkansas by 3 at the half. But early in the ballgame, Dick, Christian Laettner gave everybody on the floor a lesson in how to play down low.
Christian Laettner was the dominant inside player. He certainly took over until he got in foul trouble. We take a look at him right here with the excellent screen, and now he's going to roll inside. And he makes the real wide body, gets the good angle, has the excellent touch. He is an outstanding inside-outside player. He had big numbers in that first half. He outscored the entire front court in terms of Arkansas with his 15 big markers. He was tremendous.
And maybe a little bit of play from Arkansas from an unexpected source. They sort of treaded water in the first half, but Arlen Bowers with pressure defense, the little guy, got them going.
Well, the truck does a great job defensively. I love him. He's an all-Rambo man. He can really play on a defensive end. He does a great job stepping out. He traps exceptionally well. Now look at his quickness. He takes it to the goal like a halfback. He explodes. He told me today, he says, I'm ready to play. And we look at his numbers right here. Arlen Truck Bowers. It's so great to see these unsung heroes, guys that really don't have a lot of ink and do not get a lot of publicity. And I'll tell you another guy. What about IBM? Isaiah Butch Morris off the bench was sensational for Arkansas. They have a very deep bench.
13 points and 7 rebounds for him. Let's check the team numbers now for the first 20 minutes of play. Arkansas shot bad early, came back a little stronger, and Duke at one time was shooting 52%. Arkansas has had a lot more free throws, 7 more than Duke has. Rebounding is rather even, though Arkansas has out-rebounded every one of its opponents so far. Razorbacks have taken care of the ball, and their bench scoring a little deceiving because they always get points off the bench, but now It's time to talk a little Windex rebounding.
Well, we're going to go to the Windex Player of the Week. Outstanding performance by Windex man. Well, we could talk about certainly Christian Leitner had a big week. LaFonso Ellis, the Fonz, tremendous rebounding numbers for Notre Dame. But I have to say, our Windex Player of the Week, we have to go to Fayetteville, Arkansas, and go for Mr. O, Oliver Miller. He had great numbers. He did a tremendous job against Oklahoma. He did a super job in their first game. He's been a dominant force, averaging better than 19 points a game, 11 rebounds a game. He has been a glass eater. The Windex man, the monster man, Oliver Miller.
And despite the fact he's been a non-factor tonight, Windex will donate $1,000 to the Boys Club of New York. Arkansas with Mayberry and Day 3 for 15 from the field, lead by 3.
How do you clean the glass? No matter how you do it, nobody cleans the glass like college basketball and Windex.
Ron Sperry came home for the handling of a Dodge Daytona ES. For Tom Metz, it was a 224 horsepower Spirit RT. Performance is bringing America home to Dodge.
I just love this car. There's no other car like it.
And now, with the new 300 horsepower all-wheel drive Stealth RT twin turbo.
Here's a fast, good-looking car.
The choice is easy. Welcome home, America. Come see what we're made of.
Buying Christmas presents for my boyfriend is one of the most impossible things ever.
I can't even think of anything that's new or different or will please him.
Catch this. It's Sports Illustrated's most exciting Christmas gift ever, the football phone. Free with a paid subscription to SI.
I would love something like this for Christmas.
The football phone works like a regular phone. It plugs into a standard jack and has push-button dialing, on-off ringer, mute button, and automatic redial.
I hope she orders that for Christmas for me.
And the football phone is free.
That's even better, and I don't have to go shopping for it, I hope.
What do I have to do to get this?
It's free if you get Sports Illustrated at their biggest Christmas savings ever. A year subscription at almost 65% off the cover price. You can be billed after the new year, or you can use your credit card today.
I'll buy it for my father, my brother, and my boyfriend.
You only pay 99 cents an issue, and the subscription includes all the previews in the swimsuit issue.
Sports Illustrated. I should have thought of that a long time ago.
So, Mom, if you're watching, please, for once.
Don't wait. Call our toll-free number now and get Sports Illustrated at their biggest Christmas savings ever, and get the football phone free.
I want this phone.
Arkansas Razorbacks by 3 as the second half is about to get underway. They also have possession. Christian Leitner, a big story early. 15 points with 9 rebounds, and off the bench, Isaiah Morris, the IBM man, the man for Nolan Richardson with his 13, and he has added 7 rebounds to his resume this evening. It's the Hills with McCaffrey, Hurley, and Leitner out there for Duke. Arkansas with Lee Mayberry in the backcourt with Todd Day and Arlen Bowers. The Big O is in there, Oliver Miller, and he's playing alongside Isaiah Morris. They go alley-oop to Mayberry with the set play off the inbounds. It does not work.
They're going with the big lineup playing Morris and Miller together.
McCaffrey fouled, but no basket, they say.
That was a good call. That foul really took place prior to the release of the basketball.
Arlen Bowers with his second. Mike Krzyzewski was asking for a hanging on the rim at the buzzer in the first half against Arkansas. Did not get the call, so the Razorbacks on a very good call and non-call by the official, leading by 3, and Arkansas's Bowers gets the steal. He's something tonight.
Bowers really plays well defensively, anticipates exceptionally well. Let's see now, Miller going against Leitner, who can pick up that next foul. Look at Miller trying to use his body down inside. See, they double up now. There's the double down.
Couple of guys working with 2 fouls, Leitner and Miller. Bowers penetrates. Day can't hit the follow. Leitner with his 10th rebound of the night.
Look at Leitner handle the rock out in the open court. Uses either hand exceptionally well.
Early, and that's a turnover. Nope, the Razorbacks thought they had the ball, but they tipped it on the baseline.
No one loves Bob Hurley's game, I don't think, more than I do. Maybe his dad and certainly Mike Krzyzewski. But he really has a tendency to try and force plays that aren't available. They don't want to reduce his aggressive style of play, but he has to play a little bit more under control.
Double teamed as Day helps out, and Leitner walked with it.
He lifted his pivot foot prior to the release of the basketball. Jimmy Burrs, one of the real blue-chip officials, blowing a whistle here tonight, along with Larry Lembo. Two outstanding guys, and Bob Barnett. Haven't seen a whole lot of Bob, but I've seen those other two, and I can tell you they are solid gold.
Mike Krzyzewski's team on turnover number 11. Here's Miller down deep against Leitner, kicks it for Morris. And he throws an air ball with Grant Hill in his face.
Morris wanted the ball, said his hand was hit, but Miller does a great job. What I was impressed with there was Miller's ability to pass the basketball and find the open man. He really relocates well. He likes to trace the basketball. They follow the ball.
Bowers on Hurley, key matchup throughout this game, out on top.
Bowers really loves the challenge of playing the highly acclaimed Bob Hurley.
Mayberry cannot stop Billy McCaffrey.
McCaffrey doing a better job with the dribble penetration, a little jump shot than I thought he could do. I thought he had to come off the screen to get his free shot against this quickness.
There's Bowers. That's a three.
He's one of the Memphis connections playing now for Nolan Richardson. He has 5.
Hey, Arkansas owns Memphis now. They're getting the players, the All-Staters, the players of the year.
Well, they did during that transition period when they had that problem with Dana Kirk. But certainly Larry Finch gets his great ones as well.
There's Miller, or rather checking with a rebound. It was Isaiah Morris. After Miller had blocked Leitner. Now he goes the other way. Leitner steals it away, but Miller got a loose ball.
Leitner stripped him, but Miller came right back with some quick hands. I was teasing Oliver when I spoke at Arkansas at an affair down there 2 weeks ago. I said, Oliver, you're the Domino man. Domino's Pizza.
Here's Leitner, kicks it. Grant Hill draws the foul on Isaiah Morris.
The Duke team does such a tremendous job driving the ball, dribbling the gap, and constantly always taking the ball at people. Look at Leitner now. He drives, he draws people to him, and he dishes. The 3D man we talked about. Drive, draw, and dish the rock.
Arkansas with its biggest lead, but Mike Krzyzewski has Grant Hill, his freshman, at the line. Guy came up to me at halftime and says, he can't be a true freshman, can he?
I tell you, he is so smooth. I know down at Duke, they're so excited about his presence. Just like Eric Montross and certainly Cliff Rozier are going to be dominant players for North Carolina. They'll eventually get some PT, some playing time. Damon Bailey is going to fit the puzzle perfectly down at Indiana. Hoosiers open up on ESPN in that Maui Classic down there in that sunshine. Indiana.
4-point game. Arkansas 49-45.
See, Miller can pass the ball. He's an excellent passer.
Morris taken away. Grant Hill slapped it out. Razorbacks will keep it with 33 seconds on the shot clock.
Arkansas trying to take advantage of their great size by going to a high-low setup, Miller up high, and then sliding Morris down inside.
Pass to Miller off the mark. Grant Hill, there he goes.
Doesn't need the trailer. He's going to finish that baby with a little Jam City.
Grant Hill with 12. Duke back to within 2. Miller around Leitner. Look at that touch for the big guy.
He's got some smooth moves inside. He and Leitner are talking to each other a great deal on the floor.
On the year, he's shooting 88% now, 22 out of 25.
That's fair shooting. That's like my shooting. I mean, he can shoot the rock.
Yeah, but he's under pressure. Here's Bobby Hurley. Races past Day and Morris. Kicks it for Leitner. And the rebound, Morris to the Big O.
Hurley was under control that time. Had great control.
Look at Mayberry scamper about, and he gets it down with the shooter's touch.
That's what makes him so special, the ability to create his own shot. Like a Thomas Edison guy, he's an innovator, a creator, and his coach gives him great freedom on the floor, and that's the key. He doesn't lock him up. He allows him to use his great ability.
There's McCaffrey from Hurley. Oliver Miller a touch. Thomas Hill over the trees. Got it and scores.
Thomas Hill, excellent jumper. Really got a chance to get some PT when Robert Brickey got hurt last year. Took advantage of it and really made a great impression on Mike Krzyzewski.
Arlen Bowers took a blow to the face, and officials timeout as they check on him.
Bowers saying, Mr. Lembo, I'm okay. I'm tough. I'm from Memphis. I'm hard as rock. They call me the truck. Don't you know I'm a Rambo man?
Boy, he played some great defense in the second part of that first half. He'll leave now. Ron Urey will come in. This is a very versatile Arkansas team. They have a lot of players who are tough to tell whether they're guards or forwards. In fact, they've been called with Oliver Miller out there, a center with 4 guards.
Well, Nolan does a great job of recruiting athletes, people that can play inside, outside, who can run and jump. And those are the kind of athletes in today's style that really are so positive.
Uri down deep. Miller gives it back to him. Nice give and go. And it draws a foul. Thomas Hill.
I'm really impressed with the passing ability of Oliver Miller. He's not forcing shots. He's not trying to force a shot that's not there. And he's really getting the ball to open people.
The big O, Oliver Miller. Many feel his presence makes Arkansas the national championship contender it is. Rated #1 in some polls, ahead of UNLV.
Oh, no, wait a minute. There's nobody can put them ahead of UNLV. They're in another class. They're ready for the expansion teams in the NBA.
Hey, I wasn't agreeing. I just said it's been done.
Hey, what they did to the Russians was unbelievable. Harry Johnson was like a man-child, a killer, Stacey Augman. And they played without Elmer Spencer, the 7-footer, and they played without George Ackles. They're unreal. They got a date February 10th at Barnhill. It'll be rocking Vegas and Arkansas.
Want to play rock and roll tennis?
Let's dance.
The ball is loud as you got!
Any questions?
Magic Moments, presented by Dodge. At the Naval Academy, David Robinson was a one-man destroyer. In his junior campaign by himself, this midshipman blocked more field goal attempts than any team in the country, except eventual champion Louisville. Robinson graduated with 351 blocked shots, an average of over 5 per game, the highest in NCAA history. One of the most dominating centers in college basketball, David Robinson accounted for many a magic moment.
For me, it's the perfect truck.
Jim Ortballs had a Ford Ranger.
It will handle a load. It will get up and move.
Brian Thompson came home from Toyota.
I like the Dodge Dakota the best.
The mid-sized Dakota, now available with V8 power for less money than a 4-liter V6 Ford Ranger.
There's no substitute for cubic inches.
Welcome home, America. Come see what we're made of.
I bought the Dodge. Just feels like quality.
Get total savings up to $3,400 on Dodge Dakota.
Arkansas has added 3 on to its halftime lead. Hogs by 6 over the Blue Devils. They'll go full court pressure here as Duke brings the ball in with Grant Hill. To McCaffrey. Mayberry trapping him with Uri. They get the steal, but Mayberry had to foul to get the steal.
Arkansas really rotating into that zone trap. Really applied great quickness on the trap.
Mayberry drawing comparisons now in Nolan Richardson's history to his great Paul Pressey back in the early 80s.
Well, you mentioned Paul Pressey. That was with Tulsa in 1981-82. They won the NIT championship. His first win as a coach at a major college level, big-time win, was over Denny Crum and the Louisville Cardinals, who were the defending national champs.
And they beat Syracuse here for the NIT title on this floor 10 seasons ago. Leitner blocked. Duke thought a man standing out of bounds, knocked the ball back in. Day under pressure. The follow jam misses from Morris, and the Blue Devils are running with Thomas Hill.
Not a good shot by Todd Day, but he lost control on the floor. Lost his footing.
Bobby Hurley and McCaffrey, who wants the ball. Right past Uri.
Boy, the Allentown sophomore is doing a super job. His brother, we talked about, the outstanding receiver for Stanford, a tremendous receiver on a collegiate level of football.
He was just named first-team All-American in the last week.
Well, I know the people at Notre Dame would certainly pick him first-team All-American. He just absolutely was brilliant against the Fighting Irish when Stanford upset the Irish.
Todd Day was shaken up a bit on that play. We'll see the Irish later on tonight against number 3 Arizona in the doubleheader nightcap here. McCaffrey with the steal. Hurley to the paint, right side, Thomas Hill.
What an excellent bounce pass by Hurley. But that was created by the defensive ability of Billy McCaffrey. Anticipated exceptionally well.
Arkansas's lead down to 2. Ron Uri all the way in.
Just great individual ability. Uri averaged double figures as a freshman. Then he averaged about 13, 12, and 10. His playing time was reduced a little because remember this, he was suspended for a full year. He had a redshirt.
Yeah, he was the Southwest Conference Newcomer of the Year 4 years ago. Been around for a while. Here's McCaffrey. Long with the 3. Leitner had to push off to get the rebound.
McCaffrey really asserts himself offensively.
Number 3 on Christian Leitner, assistant Mike Gray, and the Duke Blue Devils a bit worried now. Leitner with 3. Will they sit him down or will he play a while?
That's one of the major problems facing Duke. Keeping a Christian Leitner on the floor, especially in a scenario where they don't have a lot of big people like last year with Ala Abdel-Nabi, giving him a great size and an inside attack, the two of them. In fact, Abdel-Nabi was the first name Nolan Richardson mentioned yesterday when he talked about Duke.
Trying for his own rebound after the miss was Daryl Hawkins. See him in for only a short spell earlier. Now he's back in. Here's Hurley. And he goes around everybody and draws the foul on Ken Biley.
You know, some people would say take Leitner out of the game right now. But here it is where a coach has to understand his personnel. He has to understand his people. He knows he's in a war right now. He's down 4 points. He can't afford to have Leitner sitting next to him, Mike Krzyzewski, as an assistant coach. Because in a 3-minute spurt, with Arkansas such a great spurt team, Miller would be going probably wild inside, and you'd have a double-figure deficit by the time you bring him back in the game. I salute Mike Krzyzewski leaving him on the floor.
Bob Hurley, 5 points on the night with that free throw. He has 7 assists to go with it.
See, next year they'll have some depth inside in terms of their big people when they get the 2 new kids.
Razorbacks 4-on-1. Mayberry misses, and following it in, Daryl Hawkins.
Daryl Hawkins, another good athlete. Got a lot of playing time last year. A runner, a jumper.
Hurley with Leitner to his right, kicks it to him, turnover. Ron Uri has it, and the Razorbacks are now 5-on-4.
Play was not there.
Miller. Uri got the rebound.
Miller shoots the jumper in the secondary phase of their running game. The trail man.
McCaffrey had the steal and lost it. 35 on the shot clock, and now a steal by Grant Hill. He's got Bobby Hurley right wing. Left side, McCaffrey. Rejected.
Get it out of here.
Ron Uri with the block. Here's Hawkins.
What athletes. What athletes down in Arkansas. They may be struggling in football, but there'll be no struggle in basketball.
Razorbacks by 6 and a technical on Mike Krzyzewski.
I'll tell you one thing, Jimmy Burr will not waste time calling a tee. He is one of the quickest in laying a tee and telling people, I'm in control. Just sent a message to Bobby Knight. In fact, Mike Krzyzewski should call Bobby up, his former mentor. He's had some run-ins with James Burr.
Coach K thought there was an offensive foul on that drive by Hawkins at the other end. Ron Uri will go to the line.
I didn't see that offensive foul.
Arkansas conceivably could go up by 8 and have the ball here.
Here's Hawkins taking the ball to the goal. I think the defensive player really stepped in. I thought the defensive player must establish defensive position by facing the offensive player and having both feet on the ground. In that scenario, I didn't see that.
Blue Devils call a timeout. They're down by 7. Arkansas with another free one and the ball.
Introducing the new Dodge Stealth RT Turbo, dedicated to those who thought Ferrari Testarossa couldn't be beat 0 to 60.
The Stealth really smoked it.
Who thought Porsche Carrera couldn't be outcornered.
The Stealth just blew it away.
Who thought Lotus would save Europe today.
The Stealth just plain beat it.
Introducing the new all-wheel drive Stealth RT Twin Turbo. Performance that's bringing America home to Dodge.
They're at your Christmas store. Sears. Name brand electronics like this LXI 2-Lux camcorder outfit with telephoto lens. Just $799.99. Only at Sears Brand Central. For Christmas.
Think
thanks to some of the most productive technology in the world. Everyone can now afford some of the most productive technology in the world.
Today, we have a special visitor. It's Rudolph Verkushny. He's going to play classical piano with Mr. Robinson. Gee, Mr. Verkushny's a better piano player than Mr. Robinson. But Mr. Robinson can really cream him at basketball. Foul!
Sunday means NFL on ESPN. Game day at noon Eastern. A preview of the entire day. And then prime time with all the highlights at 7 o'clock. Followed by the Seahawks and the Chargers at 8 o'clock Eastern time. Sunday evening. NFL on ESPN. Coach K with a T. One free throw downed, and at the line, Ron Uri adding to the 7-point lead with that one.
Ron Uri there on a free throw line from out of Whitehaven High School out of Memphis, Tennessee. He was suspended in the 88-89 season. And I'll tell you one thing, you look at his numbers, 11.7 as a freshman, 13.4 as a South. Last year had 10 coming off the bench, and now is back into the starting lineup.
Arkansas with its biggest lead now. Previously it was 6. They have an 8-point spread plus the ball with 13:25 to go. It's kind of gut check time for the Blue Devils right now.
Like Krzyzewski said, it would be a game of streaks, and it has been that.
Uri looking for Biley. Steal,
nice
Leitner, McCaffrey.
Nice pass. McCaffrey makes like his brother. He goes down. They throw the bomb to him. He catches it and he delivers it. He said, just like my brother Eddie.
Wasn't 6, but an easy 2. There's Leitner with a bump away, and he is getting tenacious on defense.
He plays so hard. He's really playing with a lot of emotion.
Biley off his leg, and Duke gets it back with great defense.
Duke automatically goes into a trapping situation if you don't have excellent spacing offensively. If you are together and you are within 2 or 3 feet of each other, you can be guaranteed that they will jump in and trap. As Todd Day, their All-American, comes on the floor.
And Mr. Bench tonight, Isaiah Morris with 13 of Arkansas's 19 bench points. Ron Uri will take a breather, and he's done well in a starting role tonight with 10 of his own.
Ron Uri gives you an athlete on the floor. He gives you a guy that can play along the baseline as long as and at the wing.
Bobby Hurley won't go for him. And the rebound ripped down by Morris, who outlets for Arlen Bowers.
Bowers has been steady tonight.
Day switches it. Ooh, Isaiah.
Butch Morris, IBM, really delivering here today.
What a great pass across the baseline, though.
You know, years ago they would say that's a bad pass, but today if you can throw the pass across the defense, it is an excellent pass.
There's Leitner, turnaround over Miller, foul number 3 on the Big O.
Miller didn't waste any time getting that hand up. Last year they had Mario Credit. They shared some time inside. Watch the 2 big guys inside. Leitner's got the inside position right now. Takes the little jumper up. Miller's going to bump him.
Got him on the shooting hand. And Christian Leitner, an outstanding free throw shooter, 9 of 11 so far. And number 1 in the ACC a year ago will go to the strike.
Arkansas will not face the kind of half-court defensive pressure they're facing today when they play in the Southwest Conference. There is no way. I know Texas has some great personnel with Joey Wright and Dexter Cambridge, Panama Myers, but they will not see the kind of pressure they're facing here today. And if they can get out of this test and go to the next round against the winner of Arizona and the Fighting Irish from Notre Dame, I'll tell you, that's the way of really, really finding out how good your team really is.
Todd Day.
What a great look. They release Day. That's just pure, we talk about athletic ability.
Here's Leitner against Miller. Kubek receives and scores.
Did you see the pass by Leitner with the left hand? I can't believe it. I mean, hey, Bob, I say it a number of times. We get paid to sit here at courtside and be part of a scenario like this. What great individual plays we're seeing. Look at Miller working inside. They're going to dump it to the big guy. Get it down to him. Leitner's got 3. Get it to him.
It won't go. Leitner the rebound.
But that was a good look. They got it to the number 1 option.
Duke down by 6 with 11:45 to go.
Am I impressed by Leitner's ability to handle the ball, move without it, shoot it. Look at this guy. He wants to drive.
Dumps it for Kubek. Senior can't knock it down. Oliver Miller outletting, and here comes Mayberry. Left side, Morris. Got his own.
Isaiah Morris will not be sitting on the sideline a great deal this year. This guy is going to earn great minutes because he is a jumper, a runner, and he can deliver.
Here's Grant Hill, and that is an offensive foul on the freshman.
Watch Isaiah Morris work the glass down. He's going to kick it. There he is, going to get the ball up. Now watch him follow. Watch his offensive rebound. I mean, he was coming up before he shot the ball. And you know what's really outstanding there? The tip. And you tip a basketball with your fingers.
Todd Day right around Kubek. Forget that matchup.
They have so many weapons. They can attack you in so many ways.
Hey, you talked about Isaiah. Double time, Dick. 17 points, 10 rebounds already.
Off the bench.
Of course, Christian Laettner with a double-double of his own as a starter.
But you expected it out of Laettner. Bob, we didn't expect it out of IBM.
Todd Day reaching in on Brian Davis. That's kind of a foul word. Coach says, hey, this guy is not one of their better offensive players. Defensive specialist. Why are you fouling him out there?
That's what drives coaches bananas. That's what makes them lose their hair like I did. And you look at Nolan on that sideline. Look at the built on that guy. Is he built or what? Played in the
He's nowhere near as big as he used to be either. He's worked hard to stay slim.
He played for the San Diego Chargers, then he played for the Dallas Chaparrals. ABA. I know Nolan couldn't shoot the rock. He had to be a defensive player. I just look at that upper body. It had to be Brick City, USA.
Well, he coaches great defense, so he obviously knows a lot about it.
See, they're clearing out the side, trying to isolate Laettner.
He's working against big number 34, Roosevelt Wallace, and there's Hurley missing the three, and Wallace has it.
He hasn't been able to knock down a perimeter shot yet, Bobby Hurley.
Mayberry blocked by Thomas Hill, and here comes Grant Hill.
Right here, Thomas Hill's going.
Oh, he walked.
He did lift his pivot foot.
At the other end, the Duke player is down. Bobby Hurley got knocked to the floor before that 2-on-1 fast break. And the officials did the proper thing by letting the team with the advantage play until that play fell apart.
And we looked at Kincaid. Mr. Krzyzewski disagrees. Certainly, if I had to rate my top 5 coaches in the country, John Thompson. That's right, the man, John Thompson. Dean Michelangelo, Mr. Smith. You'd have to talk about the general, Robert Montgomery Knight, as we look at Bob Hurley. And then you'd have to talk about Luke, GQ himself, Mr. Olson, and Mike Kincaid, Mr. Krzyzewski. That's my 5, all Rolls-Royce, all John Woodens. I mean, those 5 guys can flat out coach. And the reason I put those 5 there, number 1, players graduate, and number 2, they win consistently. And you see here no problems in terms of investigations or anything in their programs.
And Coach K, as we learned last week, will not hang that Final Four banner from last year until all his players graduate from that team. Here's Mayberry into the paint and reaching in on him. There was a Duke foul.
The one area Arkansas is really going to have to stress and improve on is their half-court game. Because in an open court game, they are just super. Nolan Richardson and his staff, Mike Anderson, an assistant, played for Nolan on that Tulsa team with Paul Pressey. He said, I made Pressey what he is.
Hey, I'll tell you why they won the NIT. Anderson missed a field goal in the Missouri Valley tournament that cost them the automatic bid to the NCAA.
Push off right there by Isaiah. Push off by Isaiah.
By the way, a moment ago, 2 quick fouls on Brian Davis. He has 4 in the game. Isaiah Morris with his 3rd. And with 9:46 to go, Arkansas by 10. The team foul situation is 7 for Arkansas and only 5 for Duke. So it is into the 1-and-1 go the Blue Devils. And don't forget, folks, when they get a little flurry down the stretch and one of those teams reaches 10 fouls, the 2-shot foul comes into automatic play. Haven't seen that tonight, but we've seen it in the NIT down at Coach K's place last week.
Duke does a great job of charting and evaluating, as you look at Nolan and his staff, the foul situation. So, for example, now with Arkansas having 7, they will tell their players to drive to try and get into that bonus situation of 10. And again, that's coaching from that sideline.
Grant Hill with a big arc and very short with it, but the rebound, Tony Lang off the bench scores.
And Antonio Lang with a big play. The freshman from Mobile, Alabama, a valedictorian. And right there, he was a valedictorian how to come up with the loose ball and convert it. He broke the heart. He broke the heart of Dale Brown because LSU was right in the war with Duke for this young man. And there's Antonio Lang. Great head fake. See, Duke utilizes the head fake, the ball fake. They drill on that constantly.
They're going to call him the Big O here because that was number 4 on Isaiah Morris. With 17 off the bench, he will take a seat. Oliver Miller, who has scored 8 points tonight but is playing with 3 fouls, is back in.
Please do not call Oliver Miller the Big O. There is only one Big O that has ever graced the hardwood, and he was from Cincinnati, Ohio. He was real. He was legit. He was the unbelievable. You talk about quintessential player. We're talking about Oscar Robertson. That's the only Big O that I have ever known in my life.
Well, this O's bigger if he's not the Big O.
He is big, baby. He is big. I wouldn't want to feed him.
As the Arkansas coaches say, he is large and in charge. And Todd Day driving misses the shot.
See, young athletes really would love to play in the Nolan Richardson system. He doesn't really control them from the standpoint, or curtail them, I guess is the better term. He allows them to demonstrate and use their abilities. There's so many coaches that try to over-technologize and really restrict the player's mobility. And remember, these guys have been playing on the playgrounds all their life, and they really love that up and down tempo. As we look at foul trouble, big here with Grant Hill with 4 and Leitner with 3. Brian Davis 4, but really not a major factor. Morris with the 4 certainly big.
One note to add to that, Dick. No foul trouble among the Arkansas guards. They can be aggressive right down to the wire in this game if they have to be.
You know, you mentioned Arkansas's guards. If I had a rate right now, the great backcourts in America, I would say NC State for pure guard play. Corciani and Monroe have to be number 1. Then I like Hunt and Anthony over at UNLV. And third, I'd go with Arkansas, especially when Dave plays back there. And then Oklahoma would be my 4th, and Pittsburgh with Sean Miller and Jason Matthews. I love that backcourt.
Here's Tony Hill. Left-handed, missing. Todd Day, who hit 1 of 2 with the rebound. Arkansas, by the way, 18 of 20 from the free throw line tonight.
Duke's going to have to find some threes out of their offensive set as well.
Leitner can't stop Miller, but the shot won't drop for him. Bobby Hurley looking for someone open. Is it him? He misses it badly with the left hand. Bowers and Day, 2-on-1. Thomas Hill, and now McCaffrey.
That's an offensive foul.
Offensive.
Yeah, really not a good play by Todd Day. On the other side, Bob Hurley really trying to make it happen offensively, taking some real impossible shots. Bobby really struggling offensively and shooting the ball. But what a competitor. You just got to love his competitive ability and his toughness as a person.
He's 1 for 9 from the field.
I'll tell you, I'm scouting him and evaluating him. I'd let Bob Hurley have to beat me on the outside. I would not try to pressure him out here.
And Christian Leitner, meanwhile, no field goals in the last 15 minutes. Just some free throws during that time. Thomas Hill had to adjust his shot. Hurley has the loose ball. And he is fouled by Lee Mayberry. That'll be his 3rd.
See, that's what Bob wants to do. He wants to get you in a situation where you pressure him and then get into a gap, force a foul, and create a number game and get the open guy the basketball. The only guy that can pressure him, I mean, if you got Anderson Hunt, for example, I mean, he suffocated him. He just didn't pressure him. I mean, he suffocated him in that game with UNLV. See, here it is. He wants to change direction. That's where he's at his best, trying to get into a gap, into a seam, and Mayberry with the reach.
Bobby Hurley with a couple of free throws tonight. 5 of 7 on the year.
Should be a great battle in the ACC. A lot of balance. The Atlantic Coast Conference, as you look at Mike Krzyzewski, Mike Bray, and Peter Godet, Tommy Amica, just a solid coaching staff. But you think about the conference, North Carolina personnel-wise has to be number 1. And you talk about Duke, Georgia Tech will be a threat with Kenny Anderson, Virginia with Crotty and Stiff.
Oh, Thomas Hill!
He says, get it out of here, baby. Get it out of here. Thomas Hill, you talk about some great stock. His daddy, that Olympic hurdler.
And this was a hurdle.
Look at that. He's going to take the ball to the goal. And Hill, look at that hurdle, baby. He's up in the sky.
Now, the shot clock does not get reset on those this year, but they only use 5 seconds to get it down there anyway.
Yeah, that's a new rule, not to penalize the defense.
There's Wallace with a fadeaway, and McCaffrey pulls it down. Here comes Duke, down by 7 with 8:20 to go.
Not a good shot by Roosevelt Wallace in that scene.
McCaffrey Was he fouled? Yes, he was fouled before the travel.
He was bumped on the outside.
Arlen Bowers got him, and that's 3 on the little guard. Nolan Richardson called it his biggest thrill in basketball when his Tulsa team won the NIT here in '81. There's his assistant Scott Edgar and Mike Anderson, the guard on that team, on the left. And tonight he's trying to advance to the Friday night final. You'll see it on ESPN when one of these teams takes on either Arizona or Notre Dame.
Well, he had that 37-0 team at Western Texas Junior College prior to arriving at Tulsa, as we see the missed free throw.
Yeah, 2 national championships in a row.
Yeah, he was 37-0, and then he got the job at Tulsa, and he did a tremendous job in Tulsa. Had Paul Pressey. They were 101 in, I just think, 13 in one stretch. I mean, they were just incredible.
McCaffrey, the second of 2. He has 15. Razorbacks, Darrell Hawkins, a 6'5" junior forward, is in. Getting a breather will be Roosevelt Wallace. Hawkins is a guy who gives them the ability to spark some offense off the bench.
Yeah, he's an athlete. He's a runner, a jumper, good offensive rebounder.
He'll give them 10 to 12 good minutes every game and give them a little spark. Give some other guys a blow now and then. And Arkansas now with the ball, no field goals since the 11-minute mark remaining in this game. Ron Uri for Bowers. Almost traveled. Uri got it back, double pump. And it's Miller missing on the follow. A foul is called. They're pointing at Bill McCaffrey. It'll be his second.
I'll tell you one thing, the preseason NIT, the Dodge NIT, has really lined up some outstanding basketball teams each year to kick off the season. As you look at Mike Krzyzewski, it's a real test. I mean, last year I talked about Kansas and the Jayhawks. You had UNLV, St. John's, you had LSU. I mean, it just gets better and better in terms of kicking off the season with some outstanding teams. And they do a great job here in terms of promoting it and really working hard their committee. And it's not easy to promote basketball prior to Thanksgiving and during the Thanksgiving era.
Nice rotation. Oliver Miller with his 9th point of the night. Richardson in his 6th year at the helm of the Hawks, looking for his 110th win against 51 losses. But a lot of those losses came in his first 2 years, not many lately. 7:59 to go. Razorbacks by 8.
Like a star from head to toe. So let's get it together.
NBA Authentics, the official clothing and equipment used at NBA games. Yes, NBA Authentics, the real stuff.
Your headquarters for officially licensed NBA merchandise is Merle Harmon's Fanfare and shopping malls coast to coast.
I wish you would leave a message.
New Crazy Calls for the holidays. A tape of 7 different songs and funny recordings for your answering machine.
Get the calls, the phone is ringing. Thanksgiving almost always.
Only $14.95. No need to moan, you got my phone.
At the tone, at the tone.
This holiday season, give someone the gift of gab for their answering machine.
To each word that you intone, you know that I will call you.
To order,
call 1-800-544-1000.
At stake, national pride. A full year of competition down to one last battle. The determined Michael Chang, the flamboyant Andre Agassi, and the lightning-quick doubles team of Rick Leach and Jim Pugh band together for the home team, the USA, against Australia for the true World Championship of Tennis, the Davis Cup Final, November 30th through December 2nd, live on ESPN.
When you look at the strength and power in the country this year, I'm not too sure that it's not west of the Mississippi. You take UNLV, and most people's eyes #1, and Arkansas, and most people's eyes #2, and Arizona is usually up there in the 3rd spot or 4th spot. So maybe we need to get the Easterners to take a look at what's happening elsewhere.
They'll get a chance to look at Lute Olson's team next against Notre Dame. Second half of our doubleheader on ESPN tonight. Now, what do you think about that statement?
I totally disagree with him. It's east of the Mississippi. He's talking about isolated teams, just individual teams, one here, one there. You go all through the east. I could go on and on. You're wrong, Lute Olson. Lute Mania is going wild in Tucson, Arizona, but the best basketball is east of the Mississippi for a number of teams. There are some good ones out in the west, but not the number there are in the east.
Agreed.
Oh, thanks a lot.
Billy McCaffrey threw it away, but it was touched by a Razorback on the way out. So Duke keeps it down by 8. 7:45 to go. Tony Lang is playing down deep along with Christian Laettner, with McCaffrey, Thomas Hill, and Hurley, the guards. Grant Hill on the bench with 4 fouls. McCaffrey.
He's really playing well offensively.
Such confidence.
He's really playing well. He's in a comfort zone.
What a couple of good sophomore guards that'll be around for a while. Hurley and McCaffrey. Here's Bowers dancing his way through, and his quickness forces the foul. And looks like number 3 on Bobby Hurley.
Hurley really loves to pressure the basketball as well. He's got better quickness than people believe, but there's the little bump with the left hand, makes contact. Little hand checking, not allowed.
And that's another team foul on Duke, and the Razorbacks at the line with a 1-and-1.
You talk about special areas in terms of winning basketball games. In football, you talk about your special teams. In basketball, you have to talk about your free throw execution, the ability to convert free throws, especially late in the game.
Going to teach these folks in Madison Square about this new foul rule. They're stopping at 7 on the scoreboard like they used to. Got to take it all the way up to 8, 9, and 10. We'll check on that and give you the Duke team fouls. It's at least 8 in this second half. And Arkansas could be shooting a lot of 2 free throw opportunities very shortly.
Arkansas really rotates their athletes into trapping situations, especially if you're 4 or 5 feet apart. See, here comes a trap.
Hurley beats it. Day and Bowers waiting for their opportunity. McCaffrey, Laettner, backdoor to Thomas Hill, and Oliver Miller with foul number 4 over the back.
Oliver Miller with the foul, created with a great look by Laettner. One of the keys against teams that half-court trap is to flash your postman to the basketball. And when you have a postman with the ability of Laettner, it really creates openings for your other people.
Arkansas with 12 team fouls this half, counting that one. Duke has 8. So the Blue Devils will get some opportunities even when they're not shooting fouls.
Duke really scraps and claws on the defensive end. When you see their athletes and you look at the size in the modern era, when you talk about Arizona coming in the next game with 3, 6, 11 guys, and you look at here with Oliver Miller and Isaiah Morris, very tough for them to match up size-wise. But next year when they bring those 2 big horses, Cherokee Parks and Eric Meek, they're going to make instant contributions. That's how good both guys are from out of California.
9 for Thomas Hill. Arkansas by 7. 7 minutes to go.
Now execution out of their half-court game becomes really important. They're trying to get a little 2-man play with Miller down in the box.
Hawkins to Oliver Miller.
See how he relocates. He finds the open man.
Thomas Hill fouled Todd Day, and I believe that was a 3-pointer. That'll be 3 free throws.
Yeah, you get 3 now if you're fouled shooting the 3-point shot. Miller is an excellent passer. Now look at him. Makes himself big and wide inside. He catches the rock, and now watch him flare the ball. He feels the double team. As soon as the double team rotates to him, he knows there's an open man, and he really catches the guy spotting up inside. We got all the press out here tonight. Dickie Hoops Weiss is in town. I'm telling you, all the press is here in the Garden. We got Bill Rhoden of the New York Times.
No free throw there, though. There's Grant Hill back in, as well as Brian Davis. Good offensive-defensive combo for Duke, and Tony Lang will lead, along with Thomas Hill, who committed that rather silly foul. Fortunately for him, Todd Day missed the first of 3.
Lang's going to be really a good player at Duke. Todd Day hasn't had a big game. The guy that's really sparked him in terms of, when you talk about spark, was Isaiah Butch Morris and the defensive player Bowers. But the presence, too. The presence of guys like Berry and Mayberry and Miller open it up for everyone else.
1 out of 3 for Todd Day. 11 points for him tonight. Lee Mayberry has 10.
1 out of 3 gets you in the Hall of Fame in baseball, but puts you on the sideline in basketball.
Grant Hill over Miller, air ball. Laettner follows.
Christian Laettner hanging around the basket. Good offensive rebounding position. Hey, knows the lane.
Dick, that's a big swing right there. 3 free throws. Arkansas only got 1, and then Duke the quick basket. They're down by 6. Todd Day forced it. Air ball.
I think you should take Day out for about 30 seconds. Sometimes you take the star player who's struggling, you let him sit on the sideline, and then bring him in. He's 4 for 15 from the field, and that's not All-American numbers.
That's not starter numbers. Errol Hawkins has taken a seat. Todd Day is still in there. He'll be the inbound thrower here. Gowers and Mayberry, the guards.
Got to always watch the guy throwing the ball inbounds. He's a dangerous guy, especially when he has the ability of a day. They usually want to set a screen and pop him out off the screen.
Miller distributes for Uri.
Duke really does a good job of stopping ball reversal. They don't let you swing it side to side, which is really the easiest way to break up a defense.
Mayberry entry pass for Miller, and Day picked up the loose ball and gets a foul drawn.
What a big basket by Todd Day. He finds the apple in his hands, and he delivers it. Gets a little gift. There's a little deflection. Now here comes Todd Day with the loose ball. He draws the contact, and he gets the deuce, and now goes to the free throw line. I was always teasing him. I said, you know, Mr. Day, you're going to make my old Bart Simpson team an underachiever because you only do it when the lights are on. Bart Simpson's in town for the Macy Day Parade tomorrow down here on Broadway.
Grant Hill has fouled out. Mike Krzyzewski's freshman gone with 12 points, 6 rebounds, and he will not play the final 6:03. They'll have to call on Tony Lang.
Tony Lang now gives him an athlete who can jump and play along the baseline, but he doesn't possess the perimeter skills of Grant Velvet Hill going to the sideline. 12 points tonight, averaging 11 a game. He's got the complete package. You can't teach some of the things he does. Great story about him. His dad was playing tennis with him one day. He was in the 8th grade getting ready to go to high school, and the football team was having double practices outside. It was about 95-degree weather. It was in Virginia, and his dad, Calvin, the former Dallas Cowboy star, I said, son, next year you're going to be doing that. He said, Dad, there is no way that I'm playing with those helmets on. I say, salute that guy. He's intelligent.
McCaffrey to Davis, high post, right side, Tony Lang.
That's how you break that trap. Postman, I talked about earlier, diagonal pass. Simple 2 moves. Postman, diagonal man, get the ball for the lane.
7-point game, 5:40 to go as Lee Mayberry operates the Arkansas offense.
So they love man-to-man defenses. Mayberry and Day, it allows their one-on-one ability to really take over.
Bowers over Leitner, poor shot, and the follow falls in. Looks like Todd Day got it.
Todd Day hanging around the offensive glass.
He has 16 now.
He'll end up with his 20, 25 before the night's over, and really did not have a good basketball game.
Blocking foul, Lee Mayberry, and that will be his 4th. Thanksgiving football coming up for you on ESPN CFA style. The Mountaineers of West Virginia will visit the Gamecocks of South Carolina. That's at 8 o'clock Eastern time to fill out your holiday menu tomorrow. And don't forget, Friday night we'll be back here for the final of this, the championship game. The winner of this takes on the victor when Notre Dame plays Arizona a little while from now. Arizona number 3 in the nation preseason. Notre Dame not rated in the top 25. They were considered number 40 by the Associated Press in terms of votes received preseason.
Well, remember this with Notre Dame and Digger Phelps. Madison Square Garden, emotion in the big game. They really always seem to rise. Digger's had a history for that. He's had a number of games where he's won that big game over a #1 team. And last year he blew out Missouri 97-65. So his kid's got good perimeter speed. The big guy, LaFonso Ellis, on paper it looks like Arizona. But I'll tell you one thing, the Fighting Irish will scrap and claw.
Duke cannot get any closer than 7. Arkansas with 5:05 right now.
So they're going to try to spread the court now and take advantage of their one-on-one ability. Todd Day, the Mayday gang says, come on out and try and check us. He said, come on out and try and check us. Let me see if you can check me with the ball. That's what Mr. Mayberry said. Come on out and check me. Come on, Billy.
Shot clock under 20 now. Mayberry receives it from Day, but he was fouled well before the pass got there.
Nice look by Todd Day because really he telegraphed that, but Mayberry did an excellent job of moving without the basketball. That's a lost art. So many kids can pound it to the deck, but they really don't move well without it.
Billy McCaffrey with his 3rd foul. Now unofficially, that's the 9th team foul of the half against Duke. Nope, it is number 10, so they do have 2 shots here. Mayberry with his 11th point of the night. He's averaging 19. Day is averaging 21, so that's 40 between them. Tonight they've combined for 27.
They put a real hurt on Vanderbilt in the first game and then really blew out Oklahoma. Oklahoma really limited in its front court. They got an excellent backcourt.
Yeah, Eddie Fogler says, thanks a lot. I win the NIT postseason. You send me to Fayetteville for my first game.
Grow up quickly.
4:35 to go. Arkansas by 9.
See, if they swung the ball side to side, they would have had a layup. He had inside position Leitner. He does a great job using his spin moves inside.
Hurley. Ooh, nicely done. That's a 2 for Bobby.
That's the first perimeter shot he has hit tonight.
2 for 10 from the field.
Tough to win shooting 20% from your perimeter people.
But again, Duke cannot get any closer than that 7-point spread. Every time you look up, another minute is gone from the clock.
They want to get into an isolation, spread the court, one-on-one, try to check them. You can allow the shot clock to go down.
It's down to 20.
I sometimes think the college game should be a 30-second clock. I'll let a women's game. Men's game 45, the women's game 30. Look at Isaiah. He says, I'm the star tonight. Move over Oliver Miller. Move over Todd Day. It's my time to show in the Big Apple. Isaiah Morris.
Isaiah Morris hits his 19th point of the night as Oliver Miller sits on the floor waiting to come in. Something symbolic about that.
Look at Bowers. Look at him playing defense. Love it. You can see it in his stance like you do with Anderson Hunt down in Vegas.
Well, where are the passing lanes right now? Todd Day steals. Down the court, bad pass. Brian Davis got it.
Well, he was 1 second too late. He put his head to the deck rather than looking up. He had Uri for a layup.
There's Leitner, went for the jam, and he was fouled.
There's that spin move I was talking about. He catches the ball, and he spins and drop steps to the baseline.
Number 3 on Todd Day.
Watch Leitner now going to post inside. They're going to dump it down. Now watch the drop step to the baseline. There's the help coming over very late. You can grab the rim when you are being fouled. And you can also grab the rim and not have a technical call if you're protecting yourself from injury or another player who you might come down on. Years ago, there was a controversial play where a technical was called. Henry Nichols, a Hall of Fame official, had to call it because the book said you called it. And there was a player who was laying down under the basket. It was during the ACC tournament. And he had to call the technical on a player hanging on a rim trying to protect himself from hurting a player.
Christian Leitner, with that free throw, matches the 19 of Isaiah Morris, who just sat out. Leitner, though, only 5 points now in the second half. Timeout on the floor. 3:18 to go. Duke playing well, but they can't get close to Arkansas.
If you're serious about whole grain, remember, Wheaties has it. These guys don't. Better get your whole grain.
You better eat your Wheaties.
If you've ever been stranded, you ought to get this new Interstate X2 booster. It's actually 2 batteries in one. So, when you run down your main battery, the extra booster battery starts your car. Interstate X2 booster. Best idea since a spare tire.
Nothing beats the USA. Nothing beats what we've got here. Nothing beats clean, crisp, cold. Nothing beats the king of beers. Yeah, nothing beats a birthday, nothing. Nothing beats a birthday, nothing. Nothing beats a Budweiser. Nothing beats a bird.
People across America are coming home to Dodge full-size pickups. Dodge half-ton pickups have the longest powertrain warranty in the business.
It has the power to tow, and horsepower is the first thing I look for.
It's like a tough, durable truck.
Dodge Ram pickups have ranked highest in customer satisfaction of all full-size pickups for 2 years running. And you can get $3,200 in total savings on a well-equipped full-size pickup.
Yeah, we compared, and we came running right back to a Dodge dealer.
Welcome home, America, to your Dodge dealer. Come see what we're made of.
Semi-final game number 1 in the Dodge NIT on ESPN with 3:18 to go. It's Arkansas by 7. The story of this one from Madison Square Garden, Christian Leitner, big night, but again, only 6 points in the second half. A lot of boards. Grant Hill has gone on fouls. And the story for the Razorbacks, Isaiah Morris, a non-starter with 19 points, 10 rebounds off the bench.
Duke's rotating into a trap right now. Let's see if Arkansas can handle the trap. They throw it over the top of the trap.
Ron Uri.
Ron Uri says no problem, open on the wing. Oliver Miller was signaling for the high lob.
It keeps going back to 9. Duke gets it back to 7. They may have to start hitting some threes here. Look out for Billy McCaffrey somewhere along the line, or Bobby Hurley. But he just has not been able to hit tonight. Bowers from Miller. Crosses it. Day. Ooh, a 360 to score.
That's an NBA move right there. What a great move to the goal. One step, gracefully smooth. He looked like Secretariat winning the Kentucky Derby.
He has 13 of his 18 since halftime. Leitner right by Miller. Forget it.
I'll tell you what, matador defense right there by Oliver Miller. He was dreaming about that pizza he's going to get after the game because he just blew right by him. He said, hey, get out of my way. Will you, Oliver? Left hand. He's so smooth, Christian Leitner.
But again, Arkansas by 9.
Got to use a little clock with each possession, too, right here. Got to play intelligent with the basketball.
They buried a Miller. Leitner behind. Uri coming down the paint, and he just kept it alive. Todd Day.
Oliver Miller really likes to pass the ball.
15 on the shot clock. Inside, Uri! Nice. And a foul!
Nice cut without the basketball by Ron Uri. He spots the opening in the defense. He slashes through, catches the ball. They're a very unselfish team, the Razorbacks.
Ryan Davis fouls out on this play.
There's Uri now cutting without the ball. He splits the seam of the defense, takes the ball to the goal, and they find the open man. I love, that chant, looking at the Razorback fans. Took some pictures with their beautiful cheerleaders and people before the game, and they have that chant, Pig Suey. They lay it on you 3 times. Woo, Pig Suey. 3. That's one of my favorite chants. I love another one down in Kansas. Rock, chalk, J, Hawk. And I love the chant at Austin P. Let's go P. Let's go P. As the Razorback cheerleaders.
Austin P played in this tournament, fell in the first round to Arizona. A 3-point play for Ron Uri, 15 for him, and the Hogs have it by 12 with 1:50 to go right now.
They're staying in that trap now, that half-court trap.
Leitner down deep, forget it. Got around Mayberry.
You see the quick drop step to the baseline. He executes that so well. He reads the defense, he reads the lane. Excellent drop step maneuver.
Now in televised games this year, each team only gets 3 timeouts. Each has used 1. So Duke, coming from behind, has a couple timeouts remaining and a bad foul by Arlen Bowers at the court.
Well, he made 2 bad plays. He made the bad offensive play with the over-penetration and lost control, and then he doubled his error and frustration and came and bumped him. Nolan looking at the bench. I don't know. Arlen looking over. Said, "Don't take me out, coach. Come on, don't take me out."
Nolan's saying, "Why are we stopping the clock with a 10-point lead?" McCaffrey for 2.
See, the one area that also with Duke in terms of a negative perimeter shooting the 3. And in the era of shooting the 3 this year in college basketball, with teams I really believe are gearing up to let that 3 fly like East Tennessee State did against Arizona. I think that can be a problem, especially in a catch-up situation like right here. I mean, you chart the 3s by Duke. How many 3s have you seen? Not many.
Maybe 1 by McCaffrey, 1 by Hurley's about it. Billy has 21. Home run pass for Day. He somehow caught it.
They got away with that. Not really a good play. They tried to release to get the layup. They did get away with it. I'll back it out.
Ron Uri with a steal. 1:15 to go, and the Hogs control by 10 with the ball now.
Spread the court, use the clock, play intelligently, head to the final. Enjoy Thanksgiving Day, the parade, eat the big turkey. I want to say happy Thanksgiving to all the beautiful people out there in America. Not a good play right there.
Thomas Hill. Leitner. And that's a 3.
Get the TO, baby.
They got the timeout. Their second of the game. 28 for Christian Leitner. And now it's a 7-point game with 55 seconds to go.
Who could that be? It's Coach Brown with today's word.
Today's word is transition game.
Ooh, transition game. And you say transition game?
This is exactly what I'm talking about. Pass the David, ball you're not a guard. You're going to break. You got to run. Run, rebound, rebound, rebound. Running is when you move your legs quickly. David,
I don't think we're going to have Coach Brown on the show anymore.
If you don't do that, I'm going to have to yell at you again.
The Pioneer Combination CD Laserdisc player. With a 60% sharper picture than most VCRs. And the incredible clarity of CD sound. It makes movies, music, and concerts truly come to life.
The ESPN weekend wraps up Sunday with NFL action. Starts at 11 or rather noon Eastern. Game day, Chris Berman and the crew preview all the games. They give you highlights of all the games at 7 Eastern with NFL prime time, followed by the Seahawks and the Chargers at 8 o'clock Sunday night.
And nobody does it better than those people with game day and prime time. Their producers, directors, and Chris Berman is sensational. They are absolutely, number one. They can talk about any other. Hey, am I hyping it or what? But I'm just telling you a fact.
Well, I tell you one thing you can't hype tonight. That's the Duke three-point shooting.
They're 1 for 6. We talked about they don't have real good three-point shooting.
Arkansas calls a timeout because they can't get the ball inbounds. They use their second timeout. So each team with one remaining now in the last 55 seconds of the game.
Handling the end of the game is so important in winning the close games. You really have to execute. Coaches right now during the timeouts talk about situations and strategy. They point out the time that's available on the clock. They point out the strategy and the matchups.
Step in, and when you need help, remember to get the hell on down the floor. Move the basketball. All right? I don't want you way up in that tight. How many timeouts are that left? Still got one time off. Run and time. Yeah. Move over here. Leave. All right. All right. Last one, can you run?
You know, one thing that impresses me about Nolan in the huddle. Several years ago, I heard him in a crucial ball game late in the Missouri Valley season at Illinois State. They were trailing. He said, "Gentlemen, we're going to win this game. Now here's how we're going to do it." That's what they did. He's a guy who's a confidence builder, but how much does he have to do now? Up by 7 with the ball. 50 seconds to go. And a Bobby Hurley foul will be his 4th. Nope, it's going to be on Leitner. It'll be his 4th. The winner of this game, and it's starting to look like the Hogs will take on either number 3 ranked Arizona, the Wildcats out of the Pac-10, or the independent Notre Dame. Digger Phelps with a long history of upsets. And he loves playing in the Garden, where Notre Dame will be making nearly its 70th appearance in its history tonight.
They've already been here 64 times throughout their history. Also, when you think about Digger Phelps, his day is struggling on that free throw line. And look at Mike Krzyzewski, Nolan Richardson. Digger Phelps, 20 years ago, it all began for him as the coach at Fordham when he had the place here rocking and rolling.
Beating Notre Dame. That's how you get the job. You beat him. Leitner all the way in. Offensive foul, and that's number 5.
Tough play right there. Christian Leitner with the good penetration and an excellent job defensively of stepping into the driving lane. That's his 4th right there.
Well, okay, the official gave the wrong signal at the table last time. That last one was on Bobby Hurley, so they each have 4.
See, right now, they got to eat up some clock, Bobby. They got to really learn how to play with the clock. Especially when they're going to blow a lot of people out this year, so they're not going to get the opportunity. Got to watch a 5-second violation right there.
Razorbacks by 8, putting it away here to advance to Friday night's final.
They're going to enjoy Turkey Day. Now, you tell me that's not intentional, but I guess the art, they say it right in the book, if you're playing the ball, Hurley going to the sideline, didn't have a Bob Hurley outstanding day like he did in the matchup last year against Arkansas, where he was just really brilliant. And, he could have pressed a little bit here. He's back home. He wants to make the great impression. Fouled out, scored 10 points, but didn't shoot well from the field. He hates to lose. You talk about a kid that hates to lose. This guy has that burning inside desire of being just a born winner. He learned that from day one from his dad, who I could go on all day about. What a coach. You've never seen him coach. Let me tell you something. He used to pay me with a bologna sandwich and cheese on it to come and speak at his camp years ago. And I'd go down there and I'd leave and I'd say, this guy belongs in the big time arena, but he loves working with young kids.
Bobby Hurley, 10 points, 2 of 11 from the field, 8 assists, no steals. They never were able to crank up the defense tonight.
you watched this game earlier, it was a game of streaks. It looked like Duke was certainly in control early in the game, but Arkansas just kept plugging back with their great athletes.
Kubek slipping down, and Arkansas has the ball, and the game is over right now, and it's the Razorbacks winning by 10, 98-88.
You know what's so impressive? They win by 10, and if I had to rate them on a scale of 10 in performance tonight, you got to say a 7. They were not super to win by 10 here. They made a lot of errors. They made a lot of, I thought, not really solid decisions, but they made the greatest decision of all. They're going home as the Big A goes. They're going to the finals, and they're going to get better and better. They are potentially a great team. One of 3 teams, I think, that on a neutral court has a chance against Vegas, along with Arizona and Michigan State.
Chris Fowler is coming up in the studio in a few moments. For now, for Dick Vitale, Bob Carpenter, Arkansas by 10. The second half of our doubleheader is coming up.
Introducing the new Dodge Stealth RT Turbo, dedicated to those who thought Ferrari Testarossa couldn't be beat 0 to 60.
The Stealth really smoked it.
Who thought Porsche Carrera couldn't be out-cornered.
The Stealth just blew it away.
Who thought Lotus would save Europe's day.
Stealth just plain beat it.
Introducing the new all-wheel drive Stealth RT Twin Turbo. Performance that's bringing America home to Dodge.
Anybody thought about dynamite?
ESPN's presentation of NCAA basketball, Duke versus Arkansas, has been brought to you by Dodge. For performance, quality, safety, and value, welcome home, America. By Nike, who reminds you to just do it. And by Pioneer, the leader in combination CD laser displayers and multi-play CD changers for the home and car. You see the Fighting Irish of Notre Dame on the floor. They're warming up. They will take on Arizona coming up in just a few minutes. In the meantime, lots to tell you about here in our college basketball studios. Let's take a look at the brackets, and we see that Arkansas on into the finals against the winner of Notre Dame and Arizona. Arkansas beat Vanderbilt in the first round. They blew out Oklahoma at home in the second round. They take care of Duke, and as Dick Vitale said, didn't seem to play all that well, but they still beat the 6th-ranked team in the nation. They are on into the finals, a team effort. It wasn't so much the Mayday backcourt as a junior college transfer off the bench. Isaiah Morris, 19 points and 10 rebounds. He had only 13 points in the first 2 games, so Morris, hey, there's more than one Isaiah who can play this game. Now, in a halftime of the first game, we talked about the influence of foreign players on college basketball here in America. The players who have come over, 154 of them now playing major college basketball. Might surprise you that number's that high. Well, Seton Hall is one college that specializes in coming up with those players from far-flung places. This year, they have come from Lithuania, Italy, and Israel to the campus in South Orange, New Jersey. Here's Steve Cyphers with more.
If Seton Hall rode a magic carpet to the 1989 National Championship, then a pair of foreign players piloted the craft. Andrew Gaze and Ramon Ramos were P.J. Carlesimo's first foreign recruits. They're gone now, but with the aid of that championship exposure, the Pirates looted the international waters once again. The result is a treasure chest of talent. From the land of Sabonis comes Arturas Karnisovas. Carlesimo got a lead on the Lithuanian from Golden State's Šarūnas Marciulionis.
We had just come off the Final Four, so I guess, he knew us from the television exposure. He said there's a young kid who was looking to attend college in the United States. Would we be interested? And we said, yeah, and we checked it out. That was a difficult one because we never really got a chance to see him play.
Why Seton Hall? I mean, because first game what I saw on TV, college game, was Seton Hall and Michigan finals.
Asaf Barnea is also a freshman forward, though he's already 23. An Israeli military commitment delayed his college plans, which began with selling himself to Seton Hall. Unsolicited, he sent Carlesimo videotapes of his game.
I checked Seton Hall, that's for me, whether they need a player in my spot and everything. So I understood that this can be the best place for me. And I heard a lot about PJ and, of course, about the Final Four.
Marco Lokar enrolled last season. A former Pirate told him about PJ and PJ about Marco. An assistant went to scout him in Italy. Lokar got a scholarship. The Hog got an unforgettable 41 points in Lokar's first start.
Lokar.
It's the blend of athletics and academics that attracts foreign athletes to the States. In their countries, education and sport are separate entities, leaving them to make a choice between the two. Academically, Seton Hall's trio made a smooth transition.
It seems that their educational systems in their homelands are stronger than ours here. So when they come here, they want challenging classes. They want to be put in classes where they're going to be challenged.
The tougher adjustments are made outside the classroom.
And I was not the star in Israel, but I was a very known player. And over here, I have to start from the beginning, because nobody knows me, nobody knows who I am, where I come from.
Beside the basketball part, which was very hard and was taking a lot of time from me, was the school part and the life part. So it was so many things to get adjusted to that I didn't really have the chance, you know, to think this is harder, this is easier. I just had to do it, and that's it.
Perhaps the easiest adjustment is on the floor itself, where Carlissimo claims a player from Rome, Italy might as well be from Rome, New York.
Used to be able to stereotype the way foreign people play, not anymore. Now they play more man-to-man. Now they're better ball skills. They always shot the ball very well, but they used to be lacking in ball handling skills and passing skills. Now the games are getting closer and closer together. International basketball and American basketball are getting closer and closer.
The evidence of that is on display at Seton Hall. Steve Cyphers, ESPN.
So practice up your pronunciation, college basketball fans. Karnisovas, Barnea, and Lokar. PJ hoping they're going to make an impact, because Seton Hall expected to finish near the bottom of the Big East Conference. One of the problems in rating that conference, you just don't know how good those foreign players are going to be. Now, earlier this evening, we got a chance to talk to Dick Vitale and get his impressions on this influx of foreign players and how it affects college basketball.
Thanks a lot, Chris. And certainly when you talk about foreign players, Seton Hall has 3 that can make a positive contribution. But there are other great ones throughout America. First of all, let's go down to North Carolina. Rick Fox from out of the Bahamas. He'll be an outstanding player. Luke Longley, the big guy from New Mexico. A real sleeper kind of team. But the 7-footer from Australia will be a dominant force inside. And then there's Mutombo with the M&M guys. Mourning and Mutombo playing down at Georgetown. The shot blocker and a guy that can run. You go down, for example, the University of South Florida has a kid by the name of Dobras, a 3-point shooter. And what about Texas? Texas has all kinds of foreign players. Tom Penders, he has Dexter Cambridge. Remember that name, from out of the Bahamas, a flat-out superstar. My feelings on foreign players, I have no problem with them playing here. It's the land of opportunity, America. But my one thing that bothers me is the fact of the hired gun. Maybe the player that comes in for the 1 year. I say that's a no-no, baby. So if you bring in a foreign player and he operates under the same rules as a student athlete, puts in his 4 years, I say amen to that. No problem at all. Well, thanks a lot, Chris, and certainly I'll tell you what, we're getting a lot of foreign influence here in American basketball.
And thanks very much, Dick. I agree with your point, except that nobody seems to make a big fuss when American players leave college after their sophomore year and go after the big bucks in the NBA. There is a reaction when foreign players go back home, but really they're doing the same thing. We saw Gayes go back and sign a big money contract in Australia. Other foreign players are, after getting that year of experience, able to go home and get the big buck contracts. We are moving closer to semifinal number 2 of the Dodge NIT. Notre Dame trying to pull off the upset against Arizona. The Fighting Irish warming up in the Garden. Stay with us.
Wild thing. It is a wild thing. Oh, come shout and sing, join in the ring. It could be queen or it could be king. You go your way and I'll go mine. As long as you just make it fine.
Good times roll with the clean, fresh taste of Bud Light. It won't fill you up, never let you down.
Coming from Orion Home Video, the future of law enforcement returns.
Take it over, creep.
With a vengeance. RoboPower is back. RoboCop 2, rated R, coming December 13th. Also from Orion, he's irreverent, irrational, and irresponsible. Robin Williams, Tim Robbins, Hello? Cadillac Man. Rated R, now available on video cassette.
Think about it. There are thousands of building products in there, so which do you ask for? Just ask for Georgia Pacific. Even if you forget that our Southern Gold plywood is double sanded for smoothness. Even if steam cured and solid lineal are Greek to you, just remember that every GP product has superior performance built in. So if ceramic coated granules or Acraglass top coat seem impossible to remember, just ask for Georgia Pacific. That's all you need to know.
Arkansas wins semifinal number 1, 98-88 over Duke. They have now scored 315 points in their first 3 games in the Dodge NIT. The hero today, not part of the Mayday backcourt or the big guy. It is Isaiah Morris, and Dick Vitale spoke with him after the game about his 19-point, 10-rebound performance.
Thanks a lot, Chris. I'm here with really a guy that was a star today, and we talk about Oliver Miller and Todd Day and Lee Mayberry. 19 points, 10 rebounds. IBM, Isaiah Butch Morris. You were sensational here in your first real big game away from home. What about it today? What was your feeling?
Well, I just wanted to come off the bench and contribute the best way I could. Just give the team defensive support, rebounding, and just wanted to come in and play hard.
Well, you're being very modest because you only didn't rebound. You also scored. Had 19 big points. A little different here than it was playing at San Jacinto, huh?
Oh, yeah. It's just big-time basketball. And now I realize that the first 2 games, well, yeah.
You like that, huh?
Yeah. I thought I was going to make that shot, but fortunately I tipped it in. First 2 games I played all right, but I just wanted to come in and have a better game than I had the first 2 games. And Coach told me to just relax and just let the game come to me, so that's what I did.
Well, I'll tell you one thing. You did a great job today. You were a star out there. IBM, enjoy it. New York City, big turkey tomorrow. Great, great job. Thanks a lot, Isaiah. Back to you, Chris.
Okay, Dick, once again the final. Arkansas 98-88 over Duke. As if they didn't have enough depth already, they go out to the junior college ranks and come up with Mr. Isaiah Morris. The winner of a next game will take on the Hogs in Saturday's final of the Dodge NIT. The Irish and number 3 Arizona coming up in just a couple of minutes from the Garden. Don't go away.
Baseball card collecting is America's fastest growing hobby. Hi, I'm Mike Schmidt. Now you can own the complete official 1990 Topps baseball card collection with all 792 cards. Topps is America's premier baseball card company, but this may be your last chance to get the 1990 set. If you call now, you'll receive a bonus collector's item, a special edition bronze baseball card medallion honoring superstar Nolan Ryan. It's an exact replica of the official Topps 1990 card. You'll also get a picture-packed issue of Topps magazine. That's a $70 value, but it's all yours for a low introductory price. Call now.
Topps baseball cards make wonderful gifts, so order several. Call 1-800-341-1600. That's 1-800-341-1600 now. Or send check and money order for $39.95 plus $2.95 shipping and handling to Topps baseball cards, P.O. Box 928, Hanover, Maryland. Supplies are limited, so call now.
ESPN's presentation of NCAA basketball is brought to you by Bud Light. Everything else is just a light. Well, we showed you the final score. We talked to the hero for Arkansas. Let's take a look at some of the highlights from Game 1 of the Dodge NIT. Arkansas and Duke in a rematch of Denver, but a different result this time. Arkansas starting sluggishly as Duke jumped out early. Grant Hill on the miss, but Christian Leitner, the big guy, has improved his toughness over the summer, lays it in, 15 points in the first half. But Arkansas comes back. Mayberry the steal. Ron Hury for the slam right there. Arkansas by 3 at halftime in the second half. Hury, the big block on Billy McCaffrey right there. Darrell Hawkins with the layup. And Coach K watches Arkansas explode in the second half. Simply too many athletes, too much depth for the Hogs, and they come away with a 10-point victory. Number 2 beating number 6, 98-88. Again, for Arkansas, 315 points. They average 105 in their first 3 games. They are on into the final. Morris again with 19 points. Some exhibition games tonight, and Missouri is all over, not the Spirit of St. Louis, but the Spirit Express, 60-35 in an exhibition game. Doug Smith, 15 points already. And Michigan against Athletes in Action. Remember, the Wolverines were trailing in the first half of this one. They come back, and in Detroit, they lead this exhibition game 99-94. Into the NBA, we told you earlier about Terry Mills signing with the Denver Nuggets. Now some scores. Boston over Houston, 98-82. That is a fourth quarter game. The Celtics lead the Atlantic Division in the early going. Sacramento 1-7, and they are having problems in the Spectrum. 83-78, the Sixers lead. They are 4-1 at home so far this season. The Heat, they have a 3-game losing streak, headed for their 4th straight loss, trailing in Cleveland 107-87. And we move on with the scores now. Indiana and Detroit, the Pistons on the road with a 2-point lead. That game now in the fourth quarter. San Antonio taking on the Timberwolves, and the Spurs at home opening up a 15-point lead in the second quarter. They are perfect 4-0 at home this season. Milwaukee and Atlanta, this game in the early going, and the Bucks have a 5-point lead, 44-39 in the second quarter. Some news from baseball. A flurry of signings in the free agent market. Told you about Rob Deere changing addresses, picked up by the Detroit Tigers. And also 3 pitchers. Now, they're the valuable guys when it comes to free agency this year. Tom Browning staying in Cincinnati, but Danny Jackson, the lefty for Cincinnati, who's had shoulder problems this past season, is headed for the Cubs. The Cubs picking up much-needed pitching in the free agent market, and Mike Boddicker going from Boston to Kansas City. He grew up in Iowa. He is back closer to home with the Royals, signing a contract. In NFL news, Dexter Manley picked up off the waiver wire by the Phoenix Cardinals, the 3rd team that had a chance to do so. The other 2 teams passing him up, but Phoenix picks up Manley. He was reinstated after the 1-year drug suspension, eligible to start playing for the Phoenix Cardinals on December 9th. Stay with us. More from the studio coming up in just a minute, and we are moving closer to Notre Dame and Arizona. Dodge NIT semifinal number 2.
When 1 in 4 adults looks at dairy food, their stomach says stop. Say no now or pay later. Antacids aren't made for this problem, called lactose intolerance. But new Dairy Ease is. It's not an antacid, but a natural nutritional supplement that lets you comfortably digest ice cream, cheese, and milk without distress. Enjoy dairy food as naturally as everyone else with pleasant-tasting, chewable new Dairy Ease.
He has thermal image vision, optic prism body armor, laser-guided smart weapons, all-terrain mobility, hazardous atmosphere compensators, and he's in town with a few days to kill. Predator 2, rated R. Now playing at theaters everywhere.
Think about it. There are thousands of building products in there, so which do you ask for? Just ask for Georgia Pacific. Even if you forget that our Southern Gold plywood is double sanded for smoothness. Even if steam cured and solid lineal are Greek to you, just remember that every GP product has superior performance built in. So if ceramic coated granules or Acroglass top coat seem impossible to remember, just ask for Georgia Pacific. That's all you need to know.
Going to be a happy Turkey Day for the Hogs of Arkansas tomorrow as they enjoy their victory in the semifinals. They are on into the finals. Come on, Coach, give them the day off. Don't think it's going to happen. They'll take on the winner of Notre Dame and Arizona, semifinal game number 2. Reminder, on Friday, come back with us. We got 4 big college basketball games starting at 4:30 Eastern Time. Illinois State against the Flyers of Dayton. Then Indiana against Northeastern. Bobby Knight has a tremendous young club, a chance to see Damon Bailey, the heralded freshman, 7 o'clock Eastern Time, the Maui Invitational Championship game. Then the NIT Championship game at Dodge, 9 o'clock Eastern Time on Friday. Said Saturday earlier, change it. It's Friday night, the championship game. And then from the West Coast, Loyola Marymount against Santa Clara. That is a midnight game on Friday, midnight Eastern Time. Notre Dame taking on Arizona. You know, the only other time these teams met back in 1934, it was in South Bend, as you know, and the Irish won that game 46-42. Moving closer to tip-off on that game. So find out who's going to take on the Hogs. It was 98-88. They beat Duke in the first semifinal game. Stay with us. The second semifinal and all that talented Arkansas or Arizona team to look at coming up in just a minute.
ESPN's presentation of NCAA basketball, Notre Dame versus Arizona, is brought to you by Dodge for performance, quality, safety, and value. Welcome home, America. By Nike, who reminds you to just do it. And by MasterCard, now your most valuable card, thanks to Master Values. Look for Master Values at some of your favorite stores.
Okay, here we go.
I'd move if I were you. I'm gonna throw one.
Well, I still have one more dart.
He's also got.
Oh, he's got another dart.
Well, then go ahead.
I'd like to throw one backwards. Would you clear the room? Anybody have stock?
Well.
Anybody take stock? Anybody stocky? Let's play darts.
Levi's 100% cotton Dockers. If they're not Dockers, they're just pants.
Oh, there we go. Count it.
That was close.
Is it?
That? Use a dangling participle. You have to.
Hey,
grab
that'll
it.
be enough of that kind of talk.
Didn't you just yawn in my face?
For me, it's the perfect truck.
Jim Oddballs had a Ford Ranger.
It will handle a load. It will get up and move.
Brian Thompson came home from Toyota.
I like the Dodge Dakota the best.
The mid-size Dakota, now available with V8 power for less money than a 4-liter V6 Ford Ranger.
There's no substitute for cubic inches.
Welcome home, America. Come see what we're made of.
I bought the Dodge. Just feels like quality.
Get total savings up to $3,400 on Dodge Dakota.
Today, we have a special visitor. It's Rudolph Verkushny. He's going to play classical piano with Mr. Robinson. Gee, Mr. Verkushny's a better piano player than Mr. Robinson, but Mr. Robinson can really cream him at basketball. Foul!
MasterCard has something special in store for you this holiday. Master Values. Now use MasterCard and save up to 25% at some of your favorite stores. Save on the latest music at Sam Goody and Musicland. Coats to camcorders at Montgomery Ward, and save on Mattel toys at Toys R Us. Look for Master Values only from MasterCard at these and other fine stores. And master the moment.
The Dodge NIT continues on ESPN, and much like they do at Radio City Music Hall, the Razorbacks and the Blue Devils put on a fun show a few moments ago. And now it's Arkansas facing the winner of this game on Friday. Tonight it's Notre Dame, unranked, against number 3, Arizona. Welcome back to Madison Square Garden. Bob Carpenter with Dick Vitale. 3 for 15 at the half. Mayberry and Day, and Arkansas still led by 3.
Bob, they beat a good Duke team, and they did not play well.